Hello everybody, welcome to my LaserImpro tutorial. This is long overdue. For who doesn't know what LaserImpro is a set of Max for Live plugins that I developed to create a laser show synchronized to an Ableton project. It was originally thought for me to create a show in which I can improvise with my modular synthesizer and a laser. So the modular synthesizer is controlled by a Bitstep Pro that's synchronized to Ableton Live, and Ableton Live, thanks to these plugins, generates the signals through a sound card to control the laser. For who wants to know how to control a laser from a sound card, I had a PDF explaining how to solder a hacked cable that allows you to send 5 channels to control your laser shapes. So let's see first of all how this works. We have in this patch, in this project, a LaserImpro channel that has 2 outputs through the sound card, and then 3 other mono channels that go out from the sound card to the laser to generate the colors. The first one is generating the shape in the form of XY signal. That's why we need 2 channels, and it's this patch, and then we have 3 other little Max for Live patches for the colors. So let's see in how this works in specific. The first 2 channels, X and Y, are generated from a set of presets. Now we are looking at presets number 40. These presets are generated on the timeline randomly by this patch and are obtained from presets that I already created inside your distribution. So you can find everything when you load the patch. But you can also add your own presets and change everything, and I will explain this later. So first of all, let's start our project. And now we add a little bit, so for the reference. Now the patch has changed, but I can generate different presets unleashing this button, which is loop preset, and you will see these little bars that represent the number of the presets that are on my timeline. Now I can open the sound to listen to the presets. This is the sound of each preset that is generated. In my aesthetics, I like to listen to the shape of the laser as sound, and the sound also is exactly what the shape is. So I find this very interesting because one listens to the shape and the sound, listen to the shape and looks at the sound, and this can generate quite noisy signals, which are perfect for techno, in my opinion. Okay, now we're generating enough signals, enough presets, and we can stop the generation by pressing this button, and we can loop through them. For example, by clicking this button, we can select 2. Now we have preset 55 and 118, but we can select other 2 or these 2. But if we want to change the presets while we are playing, we can push this button and change the preset. Okay. One thing I can do is also change the speed of the presets. Now I'm generating 1 preset per beat, but I can give 2 beats per preset. Or even 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or go even faster. Okay. One thing I can do is also change the range of presets, that are generated. For example, I want to generate only presets from 1 to 8. And as you can see now, I generate only presets that have low numbers. This is very helpful because I can put certain type of presets in the first part of the range, or I can generate presets in the range 3264, for example. And now I'm generating only high number of presets. I can imagine thinking ahead and then generating presets that are more round and calm, for example, in this range for the parts that are more relaxed, and more glitchy presets in the part in the range 1 to 32, where I have more dynamic beats, let's say, for example. So I can divide my presets in zones and browse through these zones. One thing I can also do is once I have chosen one preset, for example this one, and I can keep them steady, I can change the tuning of the preset and generate some sort of little melodies. As you can see, also the shape is affected. Okay, so another thing, now I am just using a full envelope, so I'm not affecting the envelope of my signal, but I can activate the envelope control. So now my signal is pinged every quarter note, and I can control the decay. And I can of course control also the attack. So now I have explained how the shapes work, but how do the color work? So let's go to the red and let's take down the colors of blue and green, so we see only the red. So first of all, now I have a control of red that is interesting because I have a sort of control on frequency, which is coarse and fine frequency. What do they do? What is color and frequency have to do together? Well, if I change the frequency to low frequency, then I have these long traits. So kind of a long traits designing my shape. And if I go very high in frequency, I have this kind of little dots. The more I go up, I see these little dots that rotate around, so I can control how much I want dots or lines to draw my shape. And if I go really low, I get this kind of flashing stroboscope effect that can be quite good for certain dramatic beats that you can do with your sound. And of course I can, all of these stuff, it can be synchronized with the coarse tuning. So for example, if I move around the fine tuning, I can try to visually tune my shape and reach a kind of stability. For example here, yeah, this kind of almost stable. Maybe I can reach more stable at high frequency. Yeah. So here it's kind of stable. It's rotating, but not so fast, okay? Or I can go completely offset and create this kind of crazy swirling of little particles following my shape. Okay, how does it work with the other colors? Well, if we go into the green patch, no, of course I have forgotten to tell you about the amplification, but of course this is the intensity. So this is the intensity of your signal. Here is stable. Yes, now I stabilized it. But the other parameter is the offset. So I can offset the intensity and basically light everything up. So this is allows me to light the whole shape completely. So I have this amp that is for the oscillating signals, and the offset is to color everything up. And I can color with little red or more red. I can control the intensity. So let's check the green now. The green is simpler because now we don't have frequency anymore. We have the amplification. If we add offset together, red and green, we have yellow. Red and green gives yellow. And I can anyway play with amplification. So now we have both together, and we see that we create these superposing lines because red controls also the frequency of green. But I can add a little shift so that the red traits the elongate from the green, and so I see green and red together. Now they are superposed, so I have this kind of yellow, but I can shift them to create this kind of both colors, so that green starts after the red. The same thing is with blue. So if I add blue, now I have blue and red together. But I can also, and then it creates the kind of purple, but I can shift the blue, and then you have blue and red. And if I add the green, I can have blue, green and red. It creates this kind of interesting set of colors, and I can play with the two shifters and create all possible combination of colors just by superposing two colors together. And of course this can be even more interesting if I add the offsets. So now I'm playing with my 5 fingers, 2 for the shifters and 3 for the offsets of the color to alternate the color of my shapes. Okay, and if I put everything up, I have this kind of whitish color. Okay, so I'm quite happy with this. Now let's see how I can change my shapes. So to change my shapes is quite interesting, quite simple. I can just open the patch, the main patch, and click into the P-patch subpatcher. This windows open up, this is the window that contains my preset. In fact, I can also try to glitch the presets by clicking around and create some kind of strange sound. These are the presets that I provide you with my Max for Live. Let's take away this bit for now. Okay, this is the presets that come with my Max for Live patches, and I can write them out. For example, I can create my presets, and I can also just delete them and create my own. So for example, I can start creating my own shape by affecting this one, changing randomly my values. Of course, you have to, by working with these things, you understand how they work at the end. But for now, you don't need to understand everything. You can just play around. And supposing that I like this one, I can save it. And this is my first shape. To save it, I can simply press Shift and let me just lower this volume so you understand better. To save my preset, I can just press Shift and click on the button relative to my shape, to my preset. So now I have preset number 1 saved, and I can create another preset. For example, this. I can take away the rotation. I can type other values, and I can maybe make it smaller, the size, or bigger. Let's make it a bit smaller. Okay, and I can save number 2, and I can also just save number 3 by creating different number of lines, supposing. Okay, so I have maybe 20 lines. Okay, this is my 3rd preset, and I save it here. So now I can recall them. This is number 2, and this is number 1 by pressing just the number. So remember, to save them you press shift on the button, and then you can recall them by pressing just the button itself. Now I can also write them out. For example, my preset 2, exactly, and I can load the old presets to find that they're still there, or I can load other presets. So I can imagine making my my live set with different presets that I can even load. If you need more than 128, you can add, you can create different files with different type of presets and go through your live set while loading them dynamically. It takes very little time to load them, so it's quite dynamic and it doesn't affect your audio. So here it is. I hope you like this tutorial. It explains how to use my Max for Live patches to create a synchronized laser show. All the files are contained in the project and in the Gumroad, and of course you can always write me. You can find all information on my work in the social media or in YouTube or wherever you see this video, and you can always write me and ask me information. Please also check my website, www.gestern.com, Gestern, Gestern, and if you want, you put a like on this video. Thank you so much. Bye.